You're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. This is the October 12th, 2023 meeting of the Monmouth Planning Board. Stephen O'Donnell, Chair. We have all our members here, including our new alternate, David Shaw. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we have some outstanding minutes. August minutes. Everyone had a chance to review those?
You want to do a roll call?
I said everyone's here.
Yeah. Just in case he might want to know who,
Who we are? Why don't we go around the table then? So,
Ray Simon,
Larry Socia, Rick Grant,
Bonnie Green,
Dave Mills.
Dave Shaw.
and Steve O'Donnell. Okay, so why don't we take up first the August minutes? Do we have a motion to accept those minutes?
We accept them as presented.
Is there a second? See who was there at that meeting. See who's at that meeting.
At the August meeting. Was there, Larry was there,
I'll second it.
David was there.
Alright. So, any discussion on the minutes? There being none. All in favor of approving those minutes? Okay. Then we have the September minutes. Entertain a motion to accept the September minutes. The September meeting. I think all the members were present.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
We have a second. I'll second it then. I was there. Any discussion on the September minutes? There being none, all in favor of approving those September minutes? They are approved. Okay. First item we have on the agenda that was tabled from the last meeting. The shoreland zoning application from Lance Rennie, 142 Fish Hatchery Road. Mr. Rennie here in person or in my video. Why don't we pass this then to the end of the meeting in case you, yeah, is that acceptable to everybody? Nope. Next item on the agenda is the shoreland zoning application from Craig Snyder. I think represented by Josh Platt. Josh. This is 11 Sinclair Lane, which is on Cobussy. Next to Cobussy Colony Golf Club, it's at the entrance road.
Right.
So, this is the initial meeting on this. I know you applied for a permit by rule and there was some comments back on that.
Can I share, kind of bring up the speed? The proposal has changed since the original application and I resubmitted the permit by rule to DEP, which was then approved last week. It was sent to the town. I don't know if that was shared with you by the codes officer or not.
Yeah.
I asked him to send that out, but either way, I have an approval from DEP for the modified proposal, which is really pretty straightforward. We removed the sitting area that was in question with shoreland zoning. That's no longer being proposed. So the only remaining DMPs we're talking about is a very short 20 foot section of riprap on an eroded shoreline. and then a 6 foot wide path to the water. Typically, those aren't things that are reviewed by planning boards, but
Right.
because we change things around, Candy suggested I come and just present that. I do have the approval. You all should all have it eventually because it's been sent to the town. The only thing I would need, if there's any other questions, we can chat about it, but I do need, talk to the codes officer about 2 trees that need to come by down. Those were in the original application. And that's just so we can get the path into the water. That's nothing to do with DEP. That's just an approval by the codes officer.
Is there any reason why Andy can't carry the ball on this?
You know, I just think we have a motion to refer this back to the code enforcement officer.
Move that we refer it back to CEO.
Second.
Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Members tonight. Prove that, okay?
Thank
And
you.
you'll get in touch with Andy and it should be good to go.
Thank you all very much.
Yep.
Nice evening.
Josh,
Yes.
you want to take a copy with you? Because I do have the DEP approval.
This is the original.
This
This
is
is
just December, this
Okay.
was October's,
Sure.
so that is the original. We don't need it anymore.
Okay.
I know I got it because I
You did
stopped
get
in
it?
the office.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So, the next item we have is Thomas and Kelly Quinn. Represented by Rick, so I guess Rick, we have to have you move to the other side of the table.
He didn't want to present it, so I got stuck doing it.
So,
Not sure if you got a chance to look things over a little bit. That parcel right on 202. It's where Corey Wilson had his trailer, where he parked his trailers and stuff there. It's there and they got a purchase and sales agreement on it. Looking to move their operation, build a new building there. New, pizza restaurant. Their lease is running out fairly soon, so they're going, looking for another avenue to build a new building there. The driveway, there is a driveway permit that was issued on that,
in the present owner.
doesn't only yet, and their hopes, if they can, hopes is to get in there, if he won't do it. He'll allow them to kind of stabilize the site, if you would. There is a little bit of silt fence there and stuff, but I think they've been hauling, fill from the Winthrop Athletic Field and putting it there, and all that's doing is creating pockets in between all the piles of water. You know what I'm saying? So that's something they wanna get squared away. They would be hooking to, the town utilities, town sewer and water. I think we would end up doing a site visit on that, I would assume,
Yeah.
correct? All we're looking for tonight is just to accept the application.
Well, I think one thing, Rick, I saw that might be missing is we should, oh, here it is. This is what I didn't see before was the
No, this is extra stuff that I went in and copied today.
purchase and sale.
Um,
Anyone else need a copy of the purchase and sale?
That should be in the packet.
Okay.
What happened was, the code enforcement officer was out the previous Monday. He's not there on Tuesdays, then Wednesday and Thursday, the town office is closed. He was there Wednesday, I tried 2-3 times, knocked on the door to reach out to him, but, he wasn't available. He called me back. Called me back Monday morning and then and the rest of the stuff, but he didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Ray brought to my attention that I am most likely missing a butter across the, kind of diagonally across, it might be within 500 feet. I'll have to get that additional, butter,
Know who that is, Ray? Did you eyeball and felt someone was missing? How big's the building gonna be?
should be in there, but it's 36 by 64. Yep, pretty much the same size as what's there. Without the porch, they also have on there a 24 by 24, like old storage, like a little garage behind the main part of the building. And that also includes a little vestibule like going on the front, I think it's 8 by 8 vestibule.
Do they plan to have any outdoor seating?
Not as of right now, I don't believe so.
And what do you anticipate parking wise?
They'll adhere to what the regulations are, so.
The building sits pretty far back, so there'll be quite a bit of parking up front.
Yeah, so the building's gonna be facing, like the gable end of it will be facing Route 202. The front part of the building will be, you pull in, it'll be facing towards the woods there. The reason being is because to get up away from the, right up front, there's a wet area there, so to get up away from that. And to get back up on the highest point of the land, basically. And then towards the back of the lot, it drops off, and that becomes Winthrop. And the rest of the properties in Winthrop, there's like 33 acres there, I believe. So
How much are they buying the entire piece?
Yeah,
But all the development will be in Monmouth?
correct, yep, in that 4.5 acre lot.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Spoke with Kelly, this is regarding the sewer.
Mhm.
I had a conversation with Kelly about 2 weeks ago. Now the sewer there, and they're intending to hook into the sewer.
Mhm.
And the sewer district more than welcomes any new users,
Right,
but the sewer in their line is a force main. We have special provisions. It's not that she cannot come into the sewer. But she needs to, and I told her to discuss with Stevens Electric and pumping. You'll need a residential, you'll need a pump station on site. Then she needs to check all of that at the sewer line. They'll have to put a manhole or an access structure over that because we had problems
Mhm.
in the past with several of the people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They haven't followed
In
that.
fact, the one just right on the Monmouth Winthrop town line, the ride used to be owned by a person by the name of Furlong. We spent the sewer district spent several $1,000s putting access structures in. Because if the check valve goes bad, and
Yeah,
it creates a problem.
absolutely, yeah.
They'll also need a grease trap. I recommend an external grease trap.
Yep, we're aware of that.
Yeah. In a restaurant. So she hasn't made an application to the sewer district yet, so we haven't seen anything.
Yeah, well, they just got a purchase and sales agreement as of right now. And a lot of it's contingent on, what ends up happening here.
Because I know the soils out there are very, very poor. They have to build one very large area wise and mound wise. Yeah, I don't think they would achieve the
For a septic system, you
for
know,
a septic system.
Yeah.
Yes.
it'd be down, it'd be very expensive, it'd be way better off to
Yeah.
go to the town, public sewer and not have to worry about it. Yeah.
I mean, they're on the fourth main. They're far enough away from the high pressure section of the fourth main. But,
Well, I think one of the review criteria will be to get your comments
Right,
on this once they apply to you. And it's one we'll have to get a site visit and get Bill Monagle out there.
it's not a pretty site right now, they're hoping to improve it.
Well, is this the one that's kind of
Clear it out.
mounds of, they
Yeah.
cleared it and then there's kind of
Then
mounds?
he gave permission to, I guess, whoever the contractor is at the Winthrop Athletic Field, dump fill there, which I don't know anything about that, checked in it, I don't think there's any issues anywhere. Beans or anything with DEP that I know about.
Probably would have required a permit.
I think McGee got all the permits he needed to bring the fill in. I know he went and asked Dan if it was okay.
Yeah,
Dan, of course, doesn't know too much about it, so
yeah.
they didn't get a permit for moving in.
Moving
Phil,
Phil. A lot of people miss that
a lot of people miss that one.
one. I would think this would qualify as a major development. So the permit fee would be $300. Plus, we'll need something to cover mailings. So we're thinking that there's 5 abutters,
Possibly 4. He's got 3 listed. and
3,
Ray
so
thinks there's
possibly
another one.
4. $10 a pop or so, 10 something. Probably $350.
Yep.
Down a Monmouth. We'll need to. Well, first,
Make a motion to accept the application.
thank you, Larry.
Seconded?
Ray,
Okay.
any further discussion on accepting the application? None, all in favor of accepting the
Voting.
application? Oh,
Bonnie?
okay, we'll let Bonnie vote tonight.
Okay.
You'll be alternate the
I'm
next
gonna-
time.
Yeah, I'll do the inspections for him. so
Okay.
I'll-
All right. For Bonnie voting for Rick, thank you.
Yeah.
For you now. $350 fee, site visit. So we can't really do anything probably for 2 weeks with getting the notices out. So the question is, if we do a Thursday night site visit 2 weeks, I think we'd have to do it at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, barely. 2 weeks, we're
Well,
almost.
there's not much to look at, so it'll
Yeah.
be quick.
I know, I've just seen the mound.
Yeah,
But it's all cleared out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Site visit at 5 o'clock,
5 o'clock on,
October 26th.
October 26th.
Rick, can you get that wetland delineated? So we know where it is? If we walk there, is that gonna be a bugaboo, just an idea? Where it,
Yeah, probably, yeah, so that, like, most of that's in the, back part of the Winthrop side,
okay, no, the one in front.
but the one in front, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care, we don't care about the
Yeah.
one in back, there's not gonna be
There's no
parking there, but the
development.
parking is gonna be on that
Right.
front side.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Imagine they're gonna go underground with electric.
Yeah, I assume so. Yep. Or they might go one pole
One pole and
and then
then,
underground from there, yeah.
Yeah, and then, determining where. Is there an entrance now?
There is, yeah.
And can you drive in off to them?
Yeah.
I mean, is there enough for us to get our
Yeah,
cars
as long
in?
as they don't keep putting piles.
Yeah.
they're done,
Yeah.
they're done, they're done.
Are they done? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have, the issue of signage, parking. Another. On other requirements. Need to, just wanna, make sure we. Kind of figure out what. Out of the ordinary,
Winthrop Utilities. This is just got kind of thrown in my lap, you know.
Yeah, because there is the water line that feeds from Winthrop to Monmouth.
On their side,
On their side, that's favorable, but, Winthrop will be in, since Winthrop does the operations for the Monmouth Water.
it should be easier dealing with one person there.
Dan Wells.
with Dan.
right, yeah. That's right, abuts their property like the hydrant's right there.
Yeah, it goes right across the front of the property.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a pretty large pipe
Yep,
under there, so they'll have to put a gate belt in the pipe.
Yeah.
And then probably have two services, one for the regular,
You don't think there's a spur there?
that was a straight run.
So have they figured out yet whether there's gonna be lighting in the parking area?
yeah, that would be, yes.
Stanchions or
Yeah,
something?
pretty much, similar to what they have at the previous place, yeah.
Yeah.
And a sign, a sign out there.
Rick, you know the timeline? The timeline?
They would like to break ground, set in the application in November. Reason being is because their lease is running out and they'd like to be finished by May. Sooner if possible, but I don't know that if I end up doing it for them, I have time to do it, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's their plan anyway, yeah. And it's pretty straightforward building. I mean, it's basically a big rectangle. It's pretty quick, so. Yeah, but that's their plan, but. Yeah, they kind of, it's like I said, it's kind of, I know she talked with Paul, and then she kind of threw this in my lap a couple of weeks ago, trying to help him out. He was on the other side of the road. Just so that he get someday like Enterprise Trenches Technology. They would bore under the highway, yeah, already planning on that, yeah.
At the time to, one, DOT is not gonna like cutting across there.
Exactly.
Two, with the time of year, they definitely won't. like it.
Exactly, yeah.
They wouldn't let Roy do it down there either.
Yeah.
Classic cars, classic,
Oh, yeah,
they wouldn't let him, they had a bore.
right,
But you need to get your application into the sewer district. Because you're gonna need a road opening permit to get into the sewer. And the DOT does not accept road opening permits from individuals for utilities. The utility has to make the application. We're already in mid-November. So it's either gonna, and it's gonna be close getting it in, because they're gonna still have to dig a pit on the sewer side. And it's, like I said, the sewers on the paved shoulder. You may have to wait till spring
Yeah.
to do the sewer.
Thought it was so they didn't
They usually, I
act
think,
October 15th, wasn't it?
15th, it's marginal. It depends upon the
marginal,
blade, so I mean. So, yeah, that's why I might be speaking out of turn, but wearing my sewer district hat, I'm just trying to advise you. They want to use it.
They never approved anything even for residents after October 15th.
so the pretty good chance that wouldn't be able to happen until spring.
Yeah, you'd be, the last thing to do would be hook up the water. You could
They,
do everything.
where it's in the shoulder,
They
I
might,
don't know, the idea is to get your application into the sewer district. So we can get the application into DOT. Because DOT is, like I said, they don't accept highway opening permits. We have to figure out how much paving, because part of the permit cost is depends upon the amount of gravel and the amount of paving.
November meeting is the 9th. So, I mean, that would be the earliest we could.
And the sewer district going to approve it, so we just need to see the plan.
Right. Right,
Just that there may be some stormwater management phosphorus issues because of the site in terms of what's gonna be required. I know I haven't. I want to prejudge it and all, but there's some wetlands there.
luckily, that is not the lowest spot.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it.
Yeah. To the right, facing it to the right is where the stream goes to the back.
Anything done there is just gonna improve
Opposite side of the building.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had kind of concerns when I saw that that lot had been cleared and no one seemed to know what was going on.
Ooh, so did I.
That was sort of during our dark ages here. Uh, So. All right. Yeah, so we'll send out notices to abutters and send some paperwork over to. I don't know if we have an electronic version of everything that we can send to Bill Monagle, like Hobbersy Watershed.
Darcy can scan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah.
We can get it
We
over to
can scan
Bill.
it here too now.
Oh, they do have a scanner here now?
The old machine is here.
Oh, good. Good, good. I was sort of hoping they'd do something.
And I'm the guy that called to get the paper out when it get jammed.
So, so next step would be get the notice to abutters out and then
Gone.
site visit on the 26th.
Just check those to, does that go to? Amy?
Town of Monmouth, yeah, just get it into the town, just anyone I think could take it and,
Anybody get a receipt?
yeah, get a receipt. And, get the other missing abutter to Darcy so that,
I've got three on here. I don't know who else there would be looking at the map.
somebody across the street, Ray thought.
Across from 202, directly across.
I've got one of Valerie Coffin on Old Lewiston Road.
Okay.
It's like because he's got three, so he's one on either side and the one across the street.
Okay. My concern was the one across the street.
Oh, you got everybody.
Yeah.
I'll look at the map.
Yeah,
Or it's Valerie Coffin's property. It's on the old Lewis Road, but her property goes to it.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and we should put, copies of the notice should go to the sewer district, the water district. Safety people.
Goes in this, lots. On the office for the Monmouth people.
Oh,
Yeah,
see you
yeah.
Tuesday
Okay.
at the office.
yeah. We can take a look and see who municipality wise. We just have to make sure we touch all the bases. We haven't had a site review. The last solar project, I believe. Yeah, so really, I think there's a requirement actually that this connect to the sewer system. Development on parcel, this is 6.7.10.2. All developments on parcels located within 200 feet horizontal district of sewer lines shall be required to connect.
Yeah.
But the sewer might not want it
Well,
if
yeah,
it's high
see, that-
pressure.
that's the situation. On gravity lines, yes, that's
True.
Yeah,
And but this being the force main, and that's the only line that's there. We have to have special provisions.
Yeah, right.
They can come in.
so we may need to amend that section.
And it would
Really?
only be on 202, development on 202,
Yeah,
where that would come in.
yeah.
Now, it says a property, but if the building's back, Father, is there something in there about that as well?
No, it goes to the parcel.
They want to.
That's a stumbling block with them, because the one on Main Street built back 203
Yeah.
feet. So they didn't have to hook up the sewer.
Well, but I don't think that's, all development on parcels. So, I mean, development includes the driveway. So I think any building, as I read this, would be required,
As,
but.
I used it as the building.
You use it as a building.
Yeah, but if you look at the state law from which that provision comes from, it says not only the building, but any drain fields or any portion of the building that's within 200 feet. So that's why the building on Main Street just outside of 200 feet or more than 200 feet. But where they put their waste disposal field and their septic tank was less.
I know. I know. I had the
But
same
don't-
conversation with the second codes guy.
Ernie sure picked up on that one. I want to change your section there, Steve. I leave it and just give the sewer district a notice and
Yeah, let it forward.
Yeah, okay.
And
I'm
if we
just
can-
wondering,
If we can, I mean, if it's really problematic for the sewer, we'll tell you and no, they can't have it.
yeah,
Right.
so maybe we need to add something in on that. That it has to be acceptable to the sewer district,
You know.
That's fine.
but
I mean, they want to hook to it if they can.
Yeah.
Oh, we more than want them. It's just like I told Kelly, there's certain provisions that are gonna be done. And you're in the lower pressure part of the main. If you were down closer to where TJ's is now or any place in there, no, we wouldn't let it, because that's high pressure and it could blow out the line.
Right.
But there's a gravity section up to just past TJ's.
Cost wise, either one, they're gonna be pretty close to the same. It's gonna be,
Oh, yeah,
be
Yeah.
expensive either way.
either way, yeah, that is the most expensive part of the bill.
Well, on the soils, it just,
okay, I think we can move on to the next item. And that is your client, Paul. Let you pronounce. Is that correct? I was gonna let you introduce your client.
yeah, Russ, I trust you're still with us. Russ Wasilewski. There's, run the, owns the camp, Bruce Lane. Actually, it's right next to Myers, where you did the shoreline application. in Spring, yeah, like talking about. Did you get the application that I submitted? There's, I do have an amendment to the plan. Because the porch that's shown on there, so it's distributed. But the applications for work in shoreline zone,
I don't pick it up. I mean, I'd like everything scanned and sent to me.
No, well,
Cause I never get into the town. I'll go the other way.
if you want it, let me,
You can scan me, send me one tomorrow.
I can send you a whole PDF.
Yeah.
Send me a PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I can look for
Look at
tonight.
Dave's right here.
Yeah,
There's. This evening, we're just looking for acceptance of the application. This is on Spruce Lane. It's down off Pine Drive off of Packard Road.
That the old Crawford place? Lloyd
Yeah. Lloyd Crawford. Yeah. That's why it looks so familiar. Yeah.
we did something there before, didn't we with Lori's?
Yes, we did,
Way back.
way back, I think it was the front deck, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's part of the proposal is to take the front deck off.
Again,
Well, if you look at the pictures, the front,
it's falling apart.
it is. I had to think twice about going on that deck to make it still. But the idea is, one of them is to take the deck off, not to replace it, is to put the deck to the westerly side of the building. The primary operation, though, will be to raise the building up so we can put adequate supports underneath the building,
Not a foundation.
not a foundation, you know,
Techno or concrete,
concrete.
that's what's there.
Oh, it's got a concrete post.
That's your map.
Metal impact.
Right now, it's just supported by 3-inch pipe. you know, it's not,
They're not, they're just driven in the ground.
yeah, they're just driven. And the other part of it, which really has nothing to do, it is in shoreline zone, but on the lake side of the building, there's like a shed roof attached over what used to probably be an additional porch. He wants to make that a gable roof to match the rest of the roof.
Let's change the roof.
A
That's
small
not
portion, yeah, it's a small portion.
gonna change height or anything?
No. It would match the rest of the remainder of the gable roof on it.
Is it just for snow load, or is he trying to get a space above?
I don't think there's much.
I don't think so either.
No, it's just for snow load.
Oh. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
What was the difference now between the plan
That one. On the plan that I originally submitted, I had and this was my fault, was the porch, a 6-foot porch on the south end of the building. It's now on the west side of the building.
Okay.
With that porch taken off, how far to the shore about?
That would make the front of the building 20 feet, and to the closest part would be 13 feet.
And I think we have an application on file reducing it to the 3. If we look hard enough, I think under Crawford, we have that deck listed somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I can find it. I'll go with Darcy and we'll look
Yeah,
for
I
it.
wasn't aware that Roy had made an application.
Yeah, I think there was something in there.
I don't even
And
try
I
to
think for
fathom
some
the
reason
town's
we
records.
couldn't move that.
There was a reason why.
Well, if you try to move it back, you really want to gain minimum effect, because to the west side of it, there's a sloped embankment that supports the power line
That's right.
above it.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, as Dave's aware, there's a power line that feeds all along the west shore of Cocknockwagon through there.
And I think you're gonna push it just with the 6 feet,
Yeah,
right to the base of the slope, I'm sure.
yeah, so,
And that's why you couldn't put it
yeah.
a 10-foot deck or a
So
12.
if you got into moving that, you're gonna start gonna kind of, one, you're gonna start taking away some good trees, and 2 is your excavation into that slope could affect the power line.
And I don't think I think CMP has a right of way,
Yeah, they have an easement.
an easement through it, so. There was a reason why
Yeah.
it got approved.
Yeah, it might be good to pull out the old
I'll see if I can find
plan.
Darcy. Tuesday.
Might- It's the shoreland.
On the adjoiners list, I think there's 6 or 7 listed there. 3 of them are all, I listed them by map and lot number. The 3 of those map and lot numbers are all owned by the same, owned by the same individual.
Oh,
It's the people to the south.
So how many separate
Yeah.
abutters do you think?
five.
Five,
Yeah.
maybe if.
That's 26, 20, 29.
Yeah, all the spruce, all the spruces were, is one person, so you probably have 4.
Four abutters. Well, just to be safe, what about a fee of 110?
It's five.
If it turns out, we don't spend all that, and we can get a refund issued.
It's $12 now for.
Well, for what?
Registered Return register.
It's going up.
It's gone up.
Again.
It was $9.97 for a long time, but I think it went up to 12.
Why don't we make it $120 for an application? Yeah, but did we accept the application? We have a motion to accept the application by Larry. Second by Dave. Any further discussion on accepting the application? In favor?
Russ.
Yes.
So, yes, I can take a check up to the town office on Monday and then I'll just bill you for the application fee. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, okay, so that's for 120?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just add that to my invoice.
You guys gonna do a site visit?
Yeah, I think we have to. Don't we?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people here haven't been down there. Question is when.
No streetlights.
No, there's no streetlights out there.
Well, I mean, we could try on a Wednesday night if people were
Well, you got November 2nd, which is a Thursday,
November 2nd at 5.
or if it's a week before the next meeting,
Yeah.
which is available.
4:30,
And then they changed the box.
the next
The
weekend.
next weekend.
The
middle of-
It's close to dark by nine.
It is close to dark. You'd have to be there, right? 5.
Okay, so what's the feasibility of getting back onto the Saturday schedule?
Gonna be a while. I mean, I don't know.
It'll get better for a couple weeks
Yeah.
when they turn the clocks back. but-
Oh, no, it gets darker.
Oh, no, it gets worse.
Better in the morning, but it will be,
Yeah.
worse. It'll be dark.
5 AM visit?
It'll be dark.
Well, I think after these visits, we can probably switch to the Saturdays.
You wouldn't have enough time to do 2 in one night, I don't believe.
I don't think so. No, too far away.
Yeah.
I mean, if we said 4:45, that's probably gonna give us enough light. There's not gonna be a lot. I mean, even headlights will help us there, right?
It won't be a
No,
lot.
you can't get headlights around the.
No, we can't.
No, you can, because you have to get.
Guys
inside
shine
the
dark
phone.
down through there.
Yeah,
But the pictures are really are good.
yeah.
That's exactly what you're gonna see. You're not gonna see anything else.
Yeah, I think the whole thing on, critical thing is the front of the building.
The front of the
What I call
building.
The front is the lakeside.
Right.
Front of the building is lakeside. You wanna see that and see how far back the addition
Yeah.
deck is going to the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you put something stakes where the,
The deck is going in.
The deck
It comes 6 feet out from that westerly side.
yeah, so it's not,
It's easy.
it's easy to figure.
Wanna
So
try
you wanna
it?
try November
4:45?
4:45 on November 2nd? Is that acceptable to everyone?
I do so. Are we okay doing that? There was some discussion, is there okay to go visit it, at another time? I know you'd mentioned something about,
Well, the guidance you see from the MMA and these other groups is that when you go alone, you're missing out on discussion, say by the developer or by Bill Monagle but, sometimes people schedule, you have to do it, so it's not, as we'll see when we go over the rules and regs that we've been talking about, it's just a recommendation. So if you have to go over it another time, because you're working out of town or you're trying to finish up a job, you gotta do what you gotta do to make a living, so we're a volunteer board. I'd just like to stay away from Saturdays until we get into December if we can, but if we have anything else coming through.
I'll come by ATVs and there'll be headlights.
Yeah,
what was the date again? I'm sorry.
November 2nd,
4:45.
yeah. So. Anything else we need to discuss on that tonight? Being none, thanks. If you could send me an email with that, that'd be great. Then I can forward that right to Bill.
It's easier for me.
Yeah,
Thanks, Paul.
um. So we'll just go down to the. Old business, I don't see this building here.
Did anybody try to call him? Here? His number should be on the application. I don't have the application.
Or, let's see if I've got it in my paperwork. I did have it at one point.
That is right here.
Is there his cell phone number on it? He might be working. He worked at,
He works the fire department.
went through a band one.
Yeah, 319-5378.
Somebody might want to do that all.
Right.
Oh, 319. Wait a minute, whoops. With it tonight. 319.
Correct. 5378. Okay.
Hi, this is Steve O'Donnell from the Monmouth Planning Board. Good, we expected you at the meeting tonight. Okay. It's kind of hard to do anything without you coming in to kind of figure out what's going on, and we're probably gonna have to, have a. Okay, yeah, come on up, we're up at the, Academy Road.
117.
117, good, that'd be great. All right, great, yep. All right, well, why don't we talk about the rules and regs. With Darcy's help, did a new draft. I did send another one out because I made found another typo. It's just a minor typo change. What we had discussed at the last meeting was to eliminate as a planning board member position, the secretary position, and to call that a recording secretary. And make that person responsible for the records. See that they're properly maintained and stored in the town office. Also have the recording secretary available to handle applications and recording documents. Disseminate information to members of the public requesting information, share agendas, take minutes, send notices, and take other actions requested by the chairperson. Recording secretary will be a town employee or an independent contractor paid by the town. Then we had number 2. And I think I just got to remove in conjunction with the recording secretary. I think it's the old language was the secretary in conjunction shall arrange for all public hearing notices, advertisements. So we'll take out in conjunction with the recording secretary. That's all we did. As I said, the other changes were just some typos. Don't think I changed any of the text. We added a section on reconsideration. We had that issue come up on an earlier project this year, and I kind of tracked language from the Maine Municipal book reconsideration for one of two reasons. Significant factual errors due to fraud or mistake regarding facts upon which the decision was made, or misinterpretation of the ordinance, or followed improper procedures, or acted beyond jurisdiction. Other than that, I think it's a lot of ways very close to what Dave had put together for us several years ago, but we had to change when we do our election to make sure the town fathers, mothers have appointed members. So, any comments on this?
Yeah, there was one edit that Darcy missed. Where?
Section 5 under meetings.
Yeah.
It's got town meeting room, we'll make that 117 Academy Room instead of Academy Road.
Okay, where's, what page is that on?
3.
3, under section 5.
Oh, Academy Road, okay.
Otherwise, in that sheet, got everything else.
All right, yeah, I made another one somewhere. I think it was in the. It's just I left out a couple letters on a word. I can't remember which one it was.
You fixed it though.
I fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll make those well, with those changes. We have a motion to approve these new rules and regulations.
Yeah, I've got a question on very tail end of it. It's under section 8. Why have we removed the the ability to waive from the old to the new draft?
Waive submission requirements. I think it's because might be because it was in the ordinance.
Section 8, this is in the old.
Yeah.
When waived, any portion of these rules and regs may be waived on a case basis by 2/3 of the vote of the members. Is it that we really don't need that?
I don't think, yeah, because what is there to waive?
I don't know. I'm just curious why that disappeared.
Yeah, I just didn't see any need, I think, for that, because it's really not, it's not like we're telling people what they gotta submit.
We are though.
No, we're not, well, the ordinance tells them what the requirements for
Right.
submission, I mean,
So you don't want to waive any of those requirements?
no, those are in the ordinance, so
So
we
you're
don't,
not gonna waive any of those requirements, then you don't need that section. If you're not gonna waive, if you're not allowed to waive them, there's no sense of putting it in saying you can waive them.
well, the only thing that would apply to is we waive one of these rules.
Yeah,
So what is there to waive in here? don't-
waive the rule of reconsideration. You're not gonna hear it.
We can,
Attorney comes in and says, and gives us a big, we might not just do that.
well, it says the planning board may reconsider.
Oh, that's true. So
So-
it's there.
It's there. I just don't think we need it.
Then you know.
We have a motion then to accept with the changes.
Make a motion to accept. Right, board. With the
Second.
changes.
All in favor? I'll make the corrections, send everyone a draft and send this to the town manager.
Yeah, so now we have to dig back.
Hi, Lance.
It is. How are you? I'm good. Yeah, we just thought it better to make sure we understood what you're doing. It's a new building or an addition to the existing? And there's some wetland behind you, is that the issue?
Well, if you see my property. Where I've already built. It's been there since 2005. So I mean, The wetlands is the very back side of my property. The hill now there that runs through.
So I can give you a little bit of history because I worked on it with Lance. When he came in for an application way back, I was brand new. And I didn't know really what to do. So I looked at DEP for advice and they said just to go out and walk it and see if you can find any aspects of wetland. You know, plantings or anything else. And it was back further than what he wanted to build with the original garage. So I just gave him the permit at that point. I don't think the wetlands have changed. They probably have gotten even smaller since then, because
The
typically,
hayfield's still the same.
yeah, and everything is,
So with this addition, how close do you think? The best estimate of how close it's gonna be to the wetlands?
To the back,
The back of your addition to the wetlands.
couple 100 feet at least.
and it's a modified stream at best. Yeah, I would say it's 250 feet or better.
And you're gonna have to put in any fill for this addition or?
I think it's close enough for silt fences and that kind of stuff, just to protect it
Yeah,
running
that's-
that way, but I don't think the building runoff or anything from that is gonna ever make it that far. That's my opinion. It's pretty far.
Any additional parking area that's gonna be created, with just the addition?
You can take down the interior, those two interior petitions, the original building.
I've only got one interior petition left and I'm using that like. So the upstairs is where I keep a lot of my pots
Right.
and then it's all storage.
How about the old outside wall?
That's gonna stay.
Okay.
I'm just, sort of like I did with my office addition on the little garage.
Yep.
I'm just gonna add on. I've got some more storage in the back of the garage. And a longer bay to bring buses and stuff in and not leave the garage door open in the snowstorm trying to do an oil change. I don't wanna have to go outside. I'd rather stay in town. Keep money local. Didn't realize that. Yep. And Dan likes to talk.
Oh, it's commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Commercial really has to get approved by us, so.
yeah, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to meet with you, accept the application, send out notices to anyone within 500 feet. Probably,
Scott works for me.
yeah, you got,
They're all my neighbors, so.
yeah. But then on the other side of the road, that,
The other side of the road, that's a whole nother ball of wax, and I don't know if you guys really want me to get into that one.
that the solar,
He's building sheds and people are living in them. So
It's a letter to Andy.
that's a letter to anybody.
no, it's,
That's a life hazard right
He
there.
needs to know that.
but we, that's the ordinance says that we should do that. And,
Yeah, I mean, everybody that lives around me, I will either work on their stuff or.
yeah, it's a formality. We have to do it everywhere so that people have the opportunity to say whatever. Sometimes we hear nothing. Sometimes someone has a legitimate issue and sometimes they have issues that we say it's not our problem, we're looking at,
Whatever you gotta do.
yeah,
Like a total of three.
So I think if we consider this is a minor or a major,
I'd say minor, in addition to the different building.
it would be $150 permit plus.
Well, he's got the solar, he's got the marijuana grow across the street, so there's two there.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
within 500 feet.
He's got that corner trailer. And that going on the bend,
Oh, that's Scott.
Yeah, he works for me.
Yeah.
right, and what's on the backside, nothing's on the backside.
Yeah,
Earl Allen.
Earl Allen, yeah.
That's the other trailer on the other side of me. Poor people in some
Four.
elements.
yeah. Well,
This one, Cocknowagan.
hey, I mean, if,
He got it.
well, yeah, if, I mean, this is an issue, like if a neighbor says they'll just accept the notice. Scott would probably accept a notice
Oh, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
Diane, so,
Yeah, just accept the notice.
and. But I think we'd have to probably notify that neighbor across the street. If you get Earl and Scott, then maybe we're down to three. Three notices,
Yeah. and
but we'll have to have. We might have to have them. Sign the notice just to say they waive mailing of it or something, the two you could get. Right, and that would drop
Just
it
something to Go
down,
in the file.
yeah,
I mean, I can see everybody around me having.
well,
Yeah, but not the solar people.
No.
No,
Do they lease
solar,
that
but-
land, the solar people? Or do they own the land?
they lease,
They lease.
they
So-
lease from the,
They lease from the guy that owns the marijuana. farm.
yeah,
Right.
he's
so-
down in Bath. He
So
lives in
he'd be
Bath.
a butter, then he would be, wouldn't he, not the solar people?
Well, he already is in the butter.
Yeah.
I'd mail it
And I-
out.
And I see him all the time too, so.
You see him. We mail it and let him send the green card back, so at least we have something.
Yeah, on that one, I think that's better. So with the mailings, we should collect from you a fee of $200. And which can be paid at the town office. And
Not until Monday.
yeah, not till Monday, no problem. And then site visit,
Make a motion, accept the.
okay, I'll do that first. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the application?
Did you second it?
I did.
Read it.
Site visit? Or not? What's the pleasure? What do you think, Dave, in terms
I
of?
think if you guys want to just run down his driveway and take a look at it, you'll see it. I mean, there's nothing else to look at.
Yeah,
If the building's there, if you don't see it, grab a picture of the back of the building where this is going and bring it with you when we have the meeting. Perfect.
so we just send out a notice that to the abutters that we'll review this at our meeting November 9th. Which is the second Thursday. I guess we're on the same schedule you guys are for the fire department, that
Fire department's every Thursday.
every Thursday. But yeah, I mean, we can call you again and have you run over for a couple minutes just. in
Yeah,
case.
if I can skip out on the 9th. I'll be back by the 4th, so I gotta go to Tucson.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're going on that course that they're doing out there.
Yeah.
That at the select board.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, so just drop off a check at the town office. And,
So when I drop it off, do the girls need to know it's for
yeah,
You
Andrew?
just tell them it's planning board.
planning board. And you may want to stick your head in Andy's office and tell him what's going on across the street.
Yeah, he'll be there at 10 o'clock.
He'll be there 10 on Monday. Somebody should look into that.
I'm just looking at it, if something ever happens and that catches on fire, it's not gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Cause I'm sure they probably pulled a permit for a shed.
but if they even took,
If they even took one.
yeah.
He's gotta know about these things, cause he's not here enough to,
And he doesn't go right around.
and he doesn't go right around, so.
I think you came up with it
I did.
and looked at what I wanted to do.
That's correct.
Between the two of them, they both kind of know what I want.
Yeah. Well, the big issue is, you're there, you got a business already, so that's not a big deal. It's just, since there's a wetland on the site, we just have to make sure that's the issue.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change the amount of traffic you have in and out.
No.
Anything else, noise or whatever, so.
Oh, 5 o'clock, this guy's out going in the house and by 8 o'clock, I'm passed out on the couch, so.
Okay, I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming in and
Thanks,
we
Lance.
we just wanted to make sure we didn't miss you again.
No, that's not a problem. When I first went in and saw Andy, he said, no, you don't have to go.
No. Well, see,
Help me out.
without having the discussion, not all of us know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go in.
Here, is it not?
I'll stop in
Same curve?
Monday, give the check.
Yes.
Give the
Okay,
So why
clerk a check and.
yeah,
they made a
sounds
move?
good.
Okay.
So you have a fire meeting on Thursday, is there better, like,
The first
This is,
Thursday of the month is officers meeting, second.
yep,
is
they
the
definitely visit.
department meeting.
if,
And the rest of the Thursday's a training.
so is the first part of the agenda or back of the agenda later better for you?
The ninth is gonna be our department.
I'll see Donna on Tuesday.
Yep, doesn't matter.
I'm going to the planning board.
Map 8, map 13. Map 8. Lot 22.
Okay,
right,
good.
21.
thank you.
Yep,
Not map. Thirteen.
who's the son? On him, is there two maps?
Well, the maps are incorrect, son.
This area. 13 lot. 12, 13, 11. And, okay. Thank you for catching that. This is the new map, so we're still in the period that we can change without any changes. Any cost.
Okay.
So, just to bring you up to date, Novell. I guess once they got to the point of the design of the layout, they have determined that the area where they're gonna have the panels is gonna be smaller than what they proposed before.
The one up behind the grow operation.
Right out that one that I kind of looked at it and thought, well, since it's smaller, it really doesn't impact anything that we would need to.
Makes it better.
It kind of
gonna change the location, like moving it back farther. or
Right.
anything. It's just gonna shrink in overall size
within their perimeter.
within a footprint that we approved.
Right. So I thought that Andy could just review, make sure everything. Rather than, because I think if it came back to us. We would probably have to notify butters. Because I don't think it's a
Why
material
can't you just
change.
mandate an as-built and put it in the file
Right,
after it's done?
I mean,
Tell
as
them you
long
want
as
to-
the as-built doesn't end up being larger
Right,
than what the
and then,
original
and then we can
proposal
look
was.
at it, you
yeah,
know, what proposed and the as-built, if it's, we'll just attach it.
so we would want. Andy to make that determination.
Correct.
But all of the discussion that we had about, putting up the grow area, not the grow area.
Screening.
The buffer.
Screening, thank you,
buffering.
buffering and all of that, that does not
That
change.
does not change.
No.
They agreed to that.
Right,
So regardless of what size it is, they still have to do
yeah,
that.
they have to do everything else we told them to do.
Okay.
It's just that.
It would be advantageous for them to do the as-built, so maybe 5 years from now, they want to increase that size, they'll have something on file saying that, yes, they already proved this size, they won't have to come back to us.
Okay.
Make that recommendation.
No, we don't,
Okay.
but at the time, if it happens,
Yeah, I think we just tell Andy,
yeah, exactly.
if you still want to.
Well,
The location, of the buffering will probably change as well.
but the amount of buffering won't change.
No, the effects of it, but the location.
Well, that's what I'm also wondering, because if they're making it smaller, are they going to move that buffering? And then if they come back and want
Well-
to make it larger, then
I think I got a plan.
They'll have to rebuffer.
We have a,
Did you see it, Tony, what they sent?
I don't think I did.
it didn't look to me like the buffering
Oh,
was
I think I
moving.
do that. So is that the pot barn? I can orient from the pot barn. That's. So, yeah, there was going to be larger. You're not touching the stuff in the back,
Yeah.
okay.
Back. Looks like they're doing away with those.
Yeah,
Right-hand
yeah.
side.
Yeah,
Yep.
which means that they can do that buffering a little bit further back, but again, if they ever want to increase it, then they're gonna have.
They have to move the buffering.
Yeah,
Have
I think they're planning to put the buffer in the same place.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't, if they were smart, that's what they would do.
Remember
Yeah,
with
and that
CMP
gives them-
at, on their substation, when they changed the plan, we made them keep the size of the buffering. As a matter of fact, we made them make it taller.
Okay,
We increased it for them. Well, you guys did. I was over there.
So the other thing we have on for old business is the fees, and I just wanted to start off kind of talking about it a little bit. I kind of started something and then I thought, well, let's talk about it. The first part I wanted to talk about was site review permits. So I think you have a different situation when you have someone like, say, the TJ's proposal, and you have a solar, that the fees should be significantly different. More money for.
Can you go by square footage of impact
Or the amount of land that's developed,
or amount of square footage of land developed?
or
Usable?
impact, I suppose you could say any solar project requires a permit of $1,500, whatever. Right now, we're charging $150 for a minor, $300 for a major. Those fees should probably be increased a little bit
And defined better.
and defined better. And
That was always a tough point when was sitting in my desk deciding whether it was a minor or a major, whether it was something I could do or I had to send it to the board. It's really up to the CEO taking the application where it goes.
Yeah.
There's nothing written that says, on a minor, it could be a CEO approval. It says right in the ordinance. So if the CEO determines it's a minor, he does it. Or it's a minor, but he wants to send it.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of small towns though use the value of the project, 15 cents or 20 cents.
Monmouth was never into the money
And-
part of it.
and so, when it was developed, that's really what our ordinance sort of says, I think, that. Or did at one point that we based it in part on the expected cost. And I think the concern was, well, we're requiring these people then also to get a building permit.
That's where the cost should come in.
And so we thought, yeah, that's where, so that having
they don't do it
maybe
by that.
categories where you have flat fees for us, and then the building permit would come in, that's enough way to capture
Except
the
they don't do it by that anymore.
building permits?
Now it's a flat fee for building permits. Because it goes to third party.
Oh,
So the fees instead of being a $1,200 fee for a house, it's a $300 fee or $400 fee. And it's made up by the third party to make it up to the 1,200 or whatever it is,
whatever number you.
whatever number you
Yeah.
want.
And see, the problem I always had with the building permit, I mean, not the building permit, but the cost of construction. If someone, say, Lance as an example, might say, well, I'm doing all the work.
That's right.
And so it's just gonna cost me blah, 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 blah. And you get into all these discussions about,
Winthrop
What's-
has a fee that they tack on, but they also do it by square footage.
Okay, square footage.
It's
square footage of the developed area.
The building.
Of the building.
That's for buildings. For site review, it's gonna be, would have to be square footage of the developed area,
Yeah,
which, in a solar panel, it's 50
Huge.
times more than
yeah,
what Lance is doing.
right.
And then it depends on whether how much you have to excavate.
Other communities use that because they collect a earth moving fee.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that's why I kind of stopped and said, rather than put something together, kind of have discussions about this. I mean, doing it, having major and minor. And then on the major, adding a square footage fee of some type.
A minor is $100.
Well, minor right now is 150.
Well, when I was doing it, it was $100.
Yeah, I mean, it might be it's different for the planning board than yeah.
No, it's under the same
Oh,
ordinance.
is it?
Yeah,
Was it 100?
yeah, I think it was 100. Or 150, maybe it was 150 for you and 100 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, something stupid.
But I'm trying to think, what site review projects are gonna require us to do more? More work for us, more work for Darcy.
Anything with a butters over 5 is a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
work.
That is. Whether we.
Building a restaurant.
Well, is that much more than a garage? I mean, what,
It's a glorified house with a
yeah,
oversized kitchen, and they're gonna serve beer.
The parking, but
Hopefully.
you got the parking area, I mean, there's more that's going on with the water, with the sewer, all of that. The site review that we did, the place, that, not next to the transfer station, but we went slogging through,
well, that's a house.
that's a house.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the impact of building in a place that's completely not built, there's gonna be all kinds of impact. You got the little stream, there's all kinds of impact.
But that's, is that
The
a,
impact of the square footage, though, is still when residential is smaller than a commercial.
yeah,
Because you have a garage.
Yeah,
and,
instead of a
park
parking
2
lot.
cars instead of a
Yeah.
parking lot.
So would you
Yeah.
do residential, and shoreline zoning, I guess, and then you got minor and major commercial?
You could do it, you could set the criteria down. That's an
well, as I
awful
said,
lot.
I mean, the way it's broken down now is site review, subdivision, shoreland.
Right.
So the permits are different in each of those. And I'm just trying to think that the fee should be higher if the scale of the project is bigger and more significant. Because we wouldn't even look at that place we slogged into, other than it was in a shoreland area. Because we don't really regulate right now the residential in any significant way. But I just kind of wanted to get a feel for people about where they feel
Can you do
fees
a,
should go.
a square footage of development, whether it's residential or commercial, up to 10,000 square feet, and then
So
above
much.
10,000
Yeah.
square feet?
I think that's the way I started to.
And you don't care, it could be over 10,000 square feet and still be a McMansion, and that's residential,
Mhm.
but you go to the higher rate. And you always have the one that CEOs can send you, which are 200 square feet. That he just doesn't want to have to touch.
Tiny house.
The tiny house,
Yeah.
which is coming,
Yeah,
he's gonna send them he's gonna send them here.
or the off the grid house.
Or the off the grid house, he's gonna send it, because he has no clue, and I would send him here if I was still there, because until those regulations get set,
Well,
How
but
do you
we
do it?
can't, well, what's gonna come now is we have to adjust our ordinances on the number of, an accessory structure
Mhm.
that's a dwelling.
dwelling.
We haven't done that yet.
So until it's done in the book, it goes to the planning board or board of appeal.
Well, is it multifamily? Multifamily, I think, has to be more than two. As the way we've written it in our
Yeah.
ordinances, so if someone wants to build a structure. We talked about the so-called in-law apartments.
Yeah.
And we kind of said, no, we'll let the CEO deal with that, but.
Other communities have two-family review boards. Where if you're gonna turn your property into two-family, and they collect a yearly fee.
The in-law apartment, would that be considered attached or detached, either or?
Well, typically,
Like if it was up over a garage, say, or something?
yeah, that's attached.
What if it's a detached?
If it's a detached garage, then it's
Either way.
Two habitable property.
two habitable spaces have to be separated by 40 feet, and all the other things have to come into play.
But like a tiny house, is that,
Splittable.
doesn't that still have to have a septic system? And,
Water.
water, habitable, I guess.
Well, I've heard that they're gonna allow holding tanks if they
Really?
keep them on wheels. I don't think that's gonna pass, but
Yeah.
that's in front of the legislation
Yeah.
now. Well, will be when they resume,
Yeah.
but they also have to pass the new ordinance, new building code when they resume. Who knows what they're gonna do with that? Yeah. They're teaching us that.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we had time at the November meeting, we can, if people think about it, look at what other towns are doing, I'd like to get something to the select board before the end of the year. Because I think our fees are low. Or,
Yeah.
They
are.
we're charging the basic fee for shoreland is $50. Probably should be $100.
Well,
And that's not,
Or more.
or more.
when we did the ordinance for the solar. I mean, we took some from Reedfield, we took some from Bodenham.
Yeah,
Of the ordinances, yeah.
yeah. So
We should have figured out what they charge.
we can look around and see what.
We can find that out.
Done
We can
something
find
like
that out.
And I looked at a couple, Ray, what Manchester, Winthrop, Reedfield, what are
Yeah.
the local towns?
What do
are-
they charge for those?
Yeah.
What does Winthrop charge for shoreland? I bet it's more than us.
You
It-
think those
it's-
fees are on their
Yeah,
websites
it's not,
maybe?
it's not
think so.
outrageous. It's
No.
maybe $50 more than us, or
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
not
they have
outrageous,
different-
but it's
they have more
more.
categories than we do.
Well, it.
It
And they
depends
have
on the
little-
size.
And they have zoning.
They go by
So-
square footage and value.
Okay,
So it goes by, what's built in what zone, because they have zone.
So we can revisit that at
I'll look
November
around.
meeting, yeah.
Look around.
Let's look
I could
around.
talk to some
You
people
can
and
talk to
find
them.
out
Yeah.
what their fee structure.
Yeah.
Sure, we
Yeah.
can do that. We see enough people.
Public comment? There is none.
Nobody signed in.
Negative.
Anyone have other things they want? Oh, I'll bring up just the comp plan to bring everybody up to date. Interested. So we got a person that's interested in doing some work for us. She gave us a quote. Town manager wanted us to shave it down. You know, her proposal was 54,000.
We had 10.
We have 10 available. We have 10,700 that's budgeted. 700 left over, 10 new. We got it down to around 30, I think.
Yeah.
Then someone brought up, oh, does this have to go out on a request for proposals? I meant to talk to Justin this week. And when I called, I couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. Just went,
Yeah,
you know,
they weren't answering the phone while I was
They
there.
were off,
Collecting taxes.
they were off 2 days, the prior
Yeah.
week, and then Monday was a holiday.
so I sent him an email and said, can we skip the RFP? Because Isabel, the person we've got, is willing to start with the money we've got available, with the understanding that in March, there'll be a warrant item on the ballot to raise another 20,000. So I don't know whether they're gonna say we need an RFP, because nobody's gonna answer it.
It's just time.
You know, wasting time.
We're wasting valuable time because we only work on it in the wintertime.
And, you know, they're looking at trying to get grants for the building over here and other things in town. They can't get any
Without-
money, economic development money, without an up-to-date comp.
They have to have a comp plan to get state money.
So that kind of made a few people on the select board,
Sit up and take notice.
yeah, get behind us.
Yeah, quickly.
So we didn't really have much criticism of the proposal itself. And they seemed willing to put a
They did.
item out,
They
so.
did. That was just the RFP that we were.
Yeah, so I gotta see what Justin says about that.
And once he says something, then we can call Isabel and get her
Yeah,
scheduled.
get it scheduled. We'll have
Yeah.
a meeting and get her, come in at least for the initial meeting, and then let's get things moving again.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got. I don't know if anyone else has any item they want to bring up or.
Thank you for accepting me onto the board. Appreciate it.
I put up fuss, but I.
Yeah.
Well, I waited 2.5 years. I wanted to see how things were gonna play out.
You wanted to see if we became functional again?
Well, forget it. I gave you a COVID break.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. One favor. Adjourned.
Stop the recording.
Yeah, how's single life?
So Darcy, we'll have to do notices to abutters.
Like step up.
I'll check them on Tuesday with you. Okay, yeah, I'll go in on.
So it will be like the last ones we did, except on Lancers, we're not gonna request.
So I gotta have the house cut that all out,
List the site visit,
try to fix it.
say it will be reviewed, you know, it's gonna be on the agenda for.
Right, so we
But now-
got the site visit for,
It's wet. It's
Ross,
Yeah,
November 2nd at 4:45, and then we've got the October 26th, 5 PM for Quinn.
right.
And there's 3 abutters for Quinn, and there's 5 abutters for Ross.
So I don't need to get another butter for Quinn?
No, because you got the one.
I'm gonna
that's across.
Okay.
I'll check the map and
Yeah,
you paid enough to cover it and just in case there is
Yeah.
one, but I'll
Yeah.
check it on Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We can chat about that.
Shut that off, so we can talk. Darcy or something.
Laptop.
Come on.
TV off.